Yes, people. Welcome back to GNA TV. I'm your host, Jim. Let's cue the intro.
I'm here, and it's you that I want to need. Feel your heartbeat. Feel somewhere you're looking good. Feel your heartbeat. Feel somewhere you're looking good.
Yes, people. Welcome back to GNA TV. I hope yous are all well. Man like Igal is in the house as well. Igal, how are you, my bro? You good?
I'm doing good, man. As good as I can be. You know what I mean? In this world.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's freezing today, isn't it? It's so windy where I am at the moment. It's blooming
I'm
blowing in a
not
breeze,
used
mate.
to this, man. Over here in the UK, I'm not used to it because it's like you wake up one day and it's like one weather, and then the next day is another thing. It's never consistent.
No, it isn't, and it's true. That's the one thing about English weather. It's you don't know what to expect on the day. You look at the weather map and it might be sunny, and then you wake up in the morning and it's like this. It's just mate, gets too much, honestly. Madness, guys. You know what it is? It's the afternoon Prem Show. We're going to review the games from Friday onwards. Shout out to Sam UK who's in the house. Marlon Dalil is also here. He says yo. Daniel's in the house as well. Big up to him, my man. Harris is in the house, Man United fan. He says, Gas United finally got a director of football. Good afternoon, Jim. Yeah, I mean, I haven't read in too much of it. I've been working, but they've got Darren Fletcher as a technical director.
Basically, Darren Fletcher was brought into the club at the beginning of the season, and they've eased him into this position now, and they've officially given the position, and it's a good thing for them.
Yeah, it is, and it's something that I think like a lot of Man United fans have been calling out for, haven't they? Really, to happen. Big up to Daniel as well. It is Chelsea Football Club's 116th birthday as of today as well. So big up to us as a club as well.
Are you sure it's 116 or 24? I thought they were 24.
I don't even know.
How many years has Roman on the club? How many years has Roman on the club?
No, they're talking. Very funny, Gal. Just clock what you just said. Very funny. Gal's throwing salt, people. Gal is throwing salt. Please smash the like button, people. If you're new here, please subscribe as well. I know it's taking a bit of time for people to get in at the moment.
Like Chelsea, Manchester United, and football in general, you have to subscribe.
Have to, man. You have to. We've got some big stuff going on, especially this weekend as well. That debate show that you all love. There's a big one with some big names coming on. So make sure you watch out for that. Along with the ladies show on Friday, which will be back. Also, Igal, Arsenal are back. Top 4 charge for Arsenal. Do you agree, Igal?
That's been dead and gone since a long time ago.
Well, actually, you think you're being cheated on, didn't you? You think Arsenal have actually been cheated on this season, didn't you? From what
the anti-Arsenal agenda still goes, but you know why? You know why it goes? Because we don't have a manager that demands respect from referees, and we do not. And when it comes to the top 6, what team would be the lowest on the pecking order to getting decisions going their way?
Why? Not you? Not yous? What, you think it's you guys?
It would be us, yeah, because Chelsea would get more decisions because Chelsea has a manager that is respected, and they are a club that recently won victories and history. Manchester United because they're Manchester United, right? Man City because Pep Guardiola goes mad if they don't have it, and Tottenham right now would get more decisions in their favor because Jose Mourinho intimidates referees. So when it comes down to it.
So what you're saying then? Jose Mourinho is a bully, basically.
No. I'm saying referees are not willing to risk being shamed by the media by making a decision against Tottenham. Where if they do it against Arteta, they know Arteta's not going to go in as hard as Pep or Jose or Klopp or any of those guys would go in on them. So that is a factor.
Yeah, I hear you. I guess. We're moving on to match 28 of 38, people. 10 more games after this game today. We will review the games individually. We're going to talk about the table as well because it's getting to the end of the season now. It's going to be interesting. The first game is on Friday, actually. Newcastle versus Aston Villa. Newcastle are I actually think Newcastle are going to get relegated, guys, to be honest. I really do think it's going to happen. But they're sitting in 16th, 27 points.
I hope they don't.
Well, Fulham are game. All right, they've played a game more, Fulham, than Newcastle.
I hope
but they're
Brighton
only
get
a point.
relegated. You know what? I hope
Huh?
Burnley get relegated. I hope Burnley get relegated. They're the new Stoke. Those guys, man.
I like Burnley, man. I like Sean Dyche's croaky voice. Do you know what I mean? Like,
No, I'd rather
leave Sean
Tyson Fury.
Dyche. We're Aston Villa anyway. Aston Villa are above Arsenal, mate. But they've got a game in hands as well. They're on
They'll
40
be above
points.
Liverpool and Tottenham soon. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's true. They could be above Liverpool, Tottenham. They could actually get all the way if they win the next two games. They could be like on Everton's, where Everton are potentially. All right, seventh onwards. That's quite good for Aston Villa, isn't it? But what do you think, Agal? Do you think this is going to be an Aston Villa whitewash, or do you think it's going to be a lot more tighter?
Jack Grealish is out. Ever since Jack Grealish has been out, they haven't been as good. But I still think they have enough to beat Newcastle. So I'm gonna go with Aston Villa. But it's only because Newcastle are so poor. They've been so poor, and I don't think that's gonna change. And Martinez has been one of the best players this season. They still have Ollie Watkins fit and firing, coming from Brentford, showing that you can come from the Championship and make that step up. And they just have quality across the whole pitch. Where Newcastle, they don't have that level of quality.
Yeah, I hear that. Daniel's joined us as well. My boy Daniel Bamiji is in the house.
That's good.
What are you man saying? Like, go, German. You lot doing?
Not bad, bro. Not bad, man. Not bad. All good in the hood. Just cold, bro. I'm blimmin' freezing, to be honest.
Put on a sweater.
Yeah, I have, but I can't move right now. Dan, we're talking about Newcastle, Aston Villa. Obviously, Newcastle getting closer and closer to relegation, mate. They're a point ahead of Fulham, who are in 18th, but obviously they've got a game in hand, Newcastle on Fulham. Do you think there's a chance that they might get relegated?
Look, I mean, I know got love for Kendall, but I mean, I'm a full, surprisingly anyway, because of the certain players that they have, I'm a Fulham guy. So I hope they obviously take. The thing is, though, it's not just Newcastle though. Now Brighton are in the mix. They're quite close to the drop zone as well. Like same place as Fulham now. They're not getting the results that they need to be getting. So yeah, but yeah, Newcastle. If someone said put a gun to my head and choose who would go down, I'd go with Newcastle.
Really?
That wasn't the question, though. The question was who's going to win the game.
Yeah, who's going to win the game? Yeah, no, that's my next question for you, my man. That's my next question for you. Who is going to win the game against Newcastle and Aston Villa?
Oh, Aston Villa will win. Aston Villa will win.
Yeah.
Simple.
Where do you?
There's certain things you need to analyze, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Aston Villa have got to play 26 games, Dan, as well. Obviously, they could overtake Liverpool, Tottenham, and even say Liverpool and Tottenham for now. Everton still got a game to play as well. But do you think Aston Villa can finish in the Europa League place, or do you think they'll just sit between where they are now and probably up to sort of 7th/6th?
I think the worst thing that could happen to Aston Villa is if they get European football and they decline in the Premier League next season to the point where they're battling for relegation.
Yeah, I hear that. What about you, Dan? Do you think they can get Europa League?
Of course they can. Look, every team in the mix right now. Look, I mean, as much as we ban on Arsenal, they can go on a nice run of form maybe to end the season, and you just never know. They can
get top 4, mate. Arsenal are on their way.
I wouldn't go that far, but the Europa League is not out of Arsenal's reach. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, anyone could go on a run and get the places that they need to just basically make the season look better than it should have been. Aston Villa have every chance. I mean, if they were to make predictions, I don't think they would. But again, look, football, we've seen weirder things happen. So Aston Villa definitely have a chance.
I'll say something crazy. Last year with Liverpool in first place and Arsenal sitting at 10th in the same position in the league after 27 games, we're closer now to first place than we were last year. So maybe that's something positive.
Here he is. I'm going to say an Aston Villa win. I think they'll win 2-0. I don't see how Newcastle even get a goal against them. I think Newcastle are actually really poor without Callum Wilson, who scores most of their goals. I think they're going to struggle to even do anything against this Villa side. But we move, and we go on to the biggest game of the week.
Come on, Dan.
The weekend, shall I say? Leeds.
Come on, Rafinha.
Leeds United versus Chelsea. Bamford against his old club. Leeds United. Oh, Chelsea are sitting in. Chelsea are doing well, man. With look at this. 50 points, 3 points behind Leicester, 4 points behind Man United. We've won 3, drawn 2. We're looking good, to be fair. And then you've got Leeds, who are in 11th. Same games as Arsenal. 3 points behind them. Gal, can you see anyone stopping Tuchel at the moment? Is there any team that can actually beat us?
They actually have a player that Chelsea should look at to go by. They have a player that would walk into your team, and he walks into majority of the teams in the Premier League. Rafinha. I genuinely feel like Rafinha could cause you guys problems. And the way that they attack, they're kamikaze defensively, but attacking wise, they always get the job done. So I can see Chelsea conceding, but I don't know if they're going to win the game. But I definitely do see you guys conceding a goal against Leeds.
Okay, fair enough. Dan, how confident are you playing against the one only way of style football, Bielsa? He only knows how to play one style, doesn't he?
Yeah, look, I mean, we'll win the game. Leeds will always be a dangerous team, but I mean, the hype. You know me. We've already discussed it. I said the hype around Bielsa is not really warranted. I know they play good football, but come on, like let's be real now. He makes a lot of mistakes. There could be games that they could have, or there are games that they could have won, should have won, if they had just adapted. And you just never know. Teams can find you out, and that's what we're seeing with Sheffield United. They had that new style overlapping centre backs season after. Can't do that. Leeds next season, we could see them battling relegation due to a manager not wanting to adapt. So yeah, but in terms of the game tomorrow, I think we'll win. What we've been able to do is we've been able to strike the balance between defensive stability and attacking efficiency. So as much as we want to see our team win 5-0, score all our chances, at the end of the day, what we're doing is we're taking the chance that we need and wrapping up the game.
Yo, pull up that comment, Hassan. What the hell is Hassan talking about? What is he talking about? Rafinha's like Pedro, not top tier. Are you crazy?
Oh, right, here it is, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Like
I don't
Pedro, good, but not top tier. Is he right?
I've never done that. Right? I don't do this, Jem. I don't go at comments. But this right here, I don't know if you're watching Leeds. My guy said Leeds could get relegated next year. Are you mad? Bro, I don't know what you're talking about, Daniel. This guy right here could go for between 60 to 80 million next season. This is how good he is. He is that good. Rafinha is literally Di Maria's clone. That's what he is.
Rafinha's good, but I wouldn't say 80 million on Rafinha is a bit excessive.
Bro,
even 60 million is excessive.
The man, technical ability, the ability to grab the ball as an attacker and to do the things that he does is above Leeds' level. The reason why Leeds can play to that level is one, because the manager tells them to play that way, but two, because they have technical players like this guy, Rafinha, who can play out of their skin. This guy could play for Real Madrid today. He would do a better job than Vinicius.
Fair enough. I don't know much about Rafinha. I've seen him a couple of times. I can see he's very talented.
I think, look, Man United want him. He's a lot of people are in for him. The point I'm trying to make is the reason why I say that Leeds could, and it's not me being definitive about it, but they could be in a relegation battle next year is, just like you pointed out with the Rafinha, if they lose someone of his caliber, that's losing one of their star players. And then on top of that, we've seen it countless of times in the Premier League. Teams that come up from the Championship who fail to adapt in certain games, especially going into their second season in the league, they go straight back down because adapting is how you maintain stability. You can't just play the same way and just not ignore all facets of the game because you think that your system is impenetrable. The reason why Liverpool are where they are right now is due to Klopp's inability to adapt. And
Yep.
that, if it doesn't excuse the best team in the league for the last 2 years, it doesn't excuse Bielsa and Leeds either.
I hear that. I hear that. Hassan says, you said William was good, Igal. You sure you want to question me?
William has statistically he has been decent. We haven't seen enough of those performances.
Yeah, I hear that. I think Chelsea. I think we'll win. I think the problem with Leeds is when they come up against the top 6 team, they go all guns out. They try and compete and outscore the top 6 teams, and I think that's just the wrong thing to do against us. You know, not just us, but Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool. You know, it's not going to happen. We'll always find gaps, and I just feel like they will play in our hands. It'll be good to watching Tuchel play against Bielsa because it would just be a all-out attack fest. You know what I mean? Moving the ball well, keeping the ball. I'll be interested because Leeds will put pressure on us. Leeds will put pressure on us, Dan. Jorginho will not get time on the ball for 90 minutes. Yeah, I'm talking about 90 minutes of the whole game, not just in short stints. So it's going to be an interesting game. I think Chelsea will win. I do think Leeds will score though. I think they might get 1 goal. So I'm going to go with like a 2 or 3-1 Chelsea. On this one, what the viewers saying. Please smash the like button, people. There's nearly 20 of you here right now, which is nice. We appreciate it. Please smash away. And if you're new here, please subscribe as well. Rafinha goes to top 6 club next window. 100% is what Ben says. Dujon says Willian is better than Ziyech at the moment.
Rafinha is better than Ziyech. Rafinha, 110%. I swear to God, I'm not even lying. Ask any footballing man. He'll tell you Rafinha is better than Ziyech. Facts. No jokes.
Fair enough. Atletico women 0, Chelsea women 1 is the score, is what Harry Doherty is saying at the moment. Go on, our Chelsea ladies. Big up to them doing big bits. Great team they are, actually. Playing really well. Big up Gem on the panel. Loki, I think we're going to edge this. Just going to edge it is what Sultan says. 3-1 is what Alex CFC says. And then Joel says here, 3-0 with 69% ball possession. Another clean sheet for Mendy. Igal, do you look at Chelsea now and do you feel that they can make that second spot? I know Man United have been there for a very long time, but do you feel like Chelsea can catch them up, or do you think that where do you think Chelsea will finish?
I think with the run that you guys are currently on, you guys are playing like the second best team in the league, and I do see you guys catching Manchester United. The question is, will Manchester United slip or will you guys catch them? I feel like you're going to need a little bit of them falling down and a little bit of you guys containing and keeping the consistency that you guys have right now, because the new manager bounce has worked, but it's not just a manager bounce at this point. He's literally changed the whole game. He's brought in people who are not playing. He's raised confidence. He's dropped players that needed time to rest because Lampard was just playing these players down to the ground. And you know what? A manager change has helped you guys, but it's not only down to that. It looked like Lampard at the end of his time there clearly lost some players, and some of the people's heads were completely gone. So now it's just brought confidence back to the whole team.
Yeah, I hear that. Dan, do you think we'll catch Man United? Do you think we'll solidify second?
I think so. Look, the fan in me says we will get second place. When I look at the fixtures that we have following the international break as well, I mean, I know people are saying we still got City left, but that's towards the end of the season. I think that's the second to last game.
Arsenal as well, mate. Don't forget.
That's 3 points dropped. Don't worry.
We'll beat Arsenal. Don't worry, Igal.
You said that last one. You said that last.
Yeah, but we're a different team now, mate.
Different manager, mate.
Same team.
Yeah, man. I mean, remember when Pep was finished without Arteta? Eh?
Yeah.
Oh, your sound cut.
Oh, sorry. I said. Remember when Pep was finished without Arteta?
Oh, that was it. You had nothing to say after that. I thought you were
Fair enough, touche, cool. But now, man, I think we can consolidate. I think we can.
Bro, get on your game, bro. You can't do this with me, dog.
No, I'm not about the banter. Man's the cheeky one-liner, and then I'm out. But
I'm the banter train.
You gotta bring context to your jokes, or else they just die.
The joke is, you guys signed Partey and Gabriel and spent money this season, and you're floating around mid-table, and you're better off last season than
We're
you are
not
this
talking
season.
about Arsenal right now. We're talking about Chelsea.
Oh yeah, we are. We'll get to them in a minute.
Leeds are gonna give you guys a good game, and it's gonna be a situation where
Egal, will we win?
Gonna drop 2 points.
Will we win?
Tuchel's gonna drop 2 points, and it's gonna be a
He's
draw.
gonna drop 2 points in this game.
Draw, yeah. Okay,
it's gonna be a 1-1 draw.
Cool. To be honest, Dan, though, it's going to happen eventually, isn't it? We ain't going to continue to keep winning and keep drawing. We are eventually going to lose a game. Egal is right. It's going to happen. But
of course, we will lose a game, but we're not losing to Leeds. I can tell you that.
And there shouldn't be a meltdown when you do lose, even if it's disgusting the way you guys lose. It should not be a meltdown. You should still be happy with what you've done so far.
Oh, Arsenal Tottenham later. Yeah, we'll get to that very, very soon, people. Very, very soon. Crystal Palace West Brom, bit of a boring game really. We'll fly through this one. Palace are sitting mid-table, probably comfortable, took their foot off the gas. Where are they? 13th, 34 points, chilling. West Brom are obviously in relegation, still in 19th, which I think they've been there since the whole blimmin' season. They haven't moved like Sheffield United. 18 points, 28 games. Egal, who's winning this one, mate?
I heard Good Morning Britain's looking for a new host. So Sam Allardyce, go apply for that job, because you're not gonna have a job by the end of the season. And they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose big. And you know what? That guy, he should get relegated based on the fact that he's just an absolute something else. Anyways, I don't like that guy. I just don't like him. I genuinely don't despise him. Yeah.
Well, what's the score?
Oh, they're getting slapped like 3-0. Palace gonna whoop their ass.
Really? I don't think Palace are that kind of team to whip people's up.
No, but Palace can score goals against teams that they're better than. Look at what they did against Leeds. They scored 4 goals versus Leeds, and they're lower and they're high, and Leeds are higher than them on the table.
Yeah, but Leeds give everyone goals, though. To be fair.
Okay, what about they've scored goals against Manchester United? They've scored goals against a lot of teams this season. I don't think Palace are that weak of a team as you guys think they are. They're getting goals. Look at their goal tally this season: 47 goals. That's not a regular Palace season.
No, that's true. However, I do think Roy Hodgson is holding this team back. Look at the attacking talent that they have available to them, and I think they're held back quite a bit. You go back a couple of games, they lost 3-0 to Burnley at home, which is inexcusable. Like, under no circumstances should you be losing to Burnley. And the game before that, they lost 2-0 to Leeds. So I know they beat Leeds earlier on, but then they lost to Leeds. So, yeah, I mean, Palace are a weird team. It's basically catching them when they're hot, catching them when they're cold kind of thing. If they haven't warmed up, then you can beat them convincingly. But when they're on fire, they're a team that you don't want to really mess with. So it depends on what Leeds turn up. I mean, what Palace turn up.
After the Liverpool 7 goals game, that game literally changed their season. They've become more aggressive. So I like that. Yeah,
fair enough. I think it's going to be a draw. I think it'll be a boring game. I think it's going to be like a 1-1, 0-0. I don't think there'll be much goals in it. Palace, I feel like I've just done now. They've given up this season. There's not much more to play for. West Brom probably conceded that they're going down anyway. I don't even think Sam Allardyce can save them this time. So, yeah, I think it's going to be one of them boring, low-key games. Going to move on to Everton. Everton versus Burnley. Obviously, Everton got slapped by Chelsea. Chelsea slapped Liverpool. Chelsea slapped Everton. Pretty much own Merseyside at the moment. Everton are sitting in 6th. 46 points, 27 games. Obviously, still got that game in hand. They need to bounce back, didn't they, Agal? They're against Burnley, who I think are mid-table. Well, not mid-table, actually. They're a bit further down, aren't they? 15th, 30 points. They're still well away from Fulham in many ways. Who do you think is going to win, mate?
I think Burnley could nick a draw. Everton tend to do this where they yo-yo. They have such a good performance one week, the next week they drop off. And then one week they can beat Liverpool, the next week they can lose to some random team. So I just feel like this is a game, a bogey team in Burnley that can get results from anybody. I see Everton dropping 2 points here, and it's going to be like a 2-2 draw or 1-1 draw.
Wicked. Jan has joined us. Jan is in the house. How you doing, Jan? You right?
What's good, Jan? You're always so smiley. I love it.
Yeah, she is. She's always happy. She's always got
When
a
you're backed,
happy pill.
when you're backed by a country, why wouldn't you be happy? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. When you're going to win the league as well, yeah, that's very, very true. Jan, we're talking about Everton Burnley here. Yeah, who do you think's going to win?
I think Everton will do it, even though are they at home or away, Everton?
They're at home.
Oh, I think their home form's not been as good as their away form. I think it's that way.
That's
But yeah,
true.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still think Everton have too much for Burnley, personally, even though Burnley like to sort of get points from the big sides. That's what they like to do. Yeah, I think Everton will be too much. I think it'll be a close game, though. It won't be like a 4-0 or anything like that. So I'd say maybe like a 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Jan, do you feel like Everton can make the top 4, or do you think they'll just be in the Europa League?
I hope so. I like Everton.
You said something that triggered me. You said you want the whole top 4 to be all blue. What do you mean by that?
Do you know what it is? Like, it's funny because it's like the league has been pretty blue recently. Like, obviously, until Liverpool won it, it was kind of like City, Leicester, Chelsea for quite a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously, I don't like. Obviously, everyone is sort of a rival in the league, but like, obviously, you have teams that you kind of like a little bit more than others, isn't it?
The Premier League has been built by red-colored teams. Manchester United, Arsenal, Liverpool, even some of the other teams that have won the league in the past couple of years have all been wearing red. So I don't know where this whole blue thing came from.
Blue is the colour, mate. That's all I'm going to say. Blue is the colour.
United haven't won the league for what, 7 years? It'll be 8 years this year. So.
Yeah, 8 years. Arsenal have won it for 25 years, I think.
The current Premier League champs, the banners are red. So just
saying. And they've died.
The champs in waiting, they were blue.
Yeah, exactly, Dan. Exactly. Dan, what are you saying about this game, mate?
Draw.
Really?
I agree. Yeah. Thank you.
Draw.
Someone agrees with me.
Burnley are that team that just the same way Everton are the same team that could just lose the game out of the blue. Burnley, you just draw a game and you're just like, oh, Burnley drew, and you're just like one of them results that you just overlook, and it's like, yeah, because it's Burnley. And when I look at, sorry, Jem, I don't know if you can scroll down as well to the bottom of the table.
Bottom of the table, let's go. Yes.
Yeah, when I look at where Burnley are, even though they look like they're still in the mix in terms of the candidates to get relegated, they just always get enough points, if that makes sense. And this is the kind of game where they would get those points, you know what I'm saying? Just like I mentioned earlier, they beat Crystal Palace 3-0 out of the blue. Like, that's just not Burnley-like. So, yeah, man. Sean Dyche, even though I don't really like his style, he gets results, and that's all you can ask for.
I think Everton are going to slap them. I'm not going to lie. I think it's going to be like a 2-0, 3-0 Everton. 2-0, 3-0 Everton. I don't think Burnley have got what it takes to hold them. I think Everton are a good team. Like, all right, we beat them, but they gave us a good game the first half. Do you know what I mean? Our goal was a deflection and a penalty. Do you know what I mean? Like, so for me, it's don't think they're not good enough to continue, a decent winning streak again, because that is definitely something that I think that they can do. And I actually think Everton will get top 4. I've got a feeling. I did say at the beginning of the season, Everton will finish 4th, and everyone was like, what? Like, they're still there or thereabouts. I know West Ham are playing really well at the moment as well, and it's making it hard. But I've just got a feeling that Leicester are going to just drop. I don't know why. I just got this feeling they're going to start bottling some games, and it's going to get tighter and tighter. But we move on to Jan's team, the team that's won the Premier League. You might as well give them the cup now. It's not even worth playing, even though for the first time we get to look at this one little red cross here, Jan, which has been a very long time coming. 65 points, 28 games. You're cruising. You're playing Fulham, who are not a bad team. Not a bad team, playing very well. Got a very good win against Liverpool away. So yeah, they're on 26 points. They're looking to push themselves out of relegation. So it won't be an easy game. Fulham are at home. Igal, what are you saying?
Fulham's gonna win. Fulham's gonna
Oh,
win.
God.
They're riding high. City are gonna drop 2 back-to-back games. Fulham are gonna show that they're not gonna get relegated. And you know what? They're gonna go and they're gonna jump ahead of Brighton. They're gonna jump ahead of Newcastle and stamp their authority to stay in the Premier League for another season.
Wow, that's a big step. So you think they're going to beat Liverpool? They've just beaten
Clip
Liverpool.
it
You
up.
think they're going to
Clip it
go
up.
and beat Man City?
This is strictly based on the fact that Manchester City are currently in cruise control and they don't have the pressure on them to win this league. Everyone else is slipping up. I generally, Jan, you're going to get your chance to speak in a second. I just feel like your team is good. Don't get me wrong. Your team is really good. But there can be a level of complacency when you guys are in your winning form and you win so many games. When you get your first loss, I don't know how you're going to react at this point. You have to see how that team reacts.
If they lose, just say they do, and I don't think they will, but if they do and Man United win, that's an 8-point gap. Man United will be singing 21 again, wouldn't they, Jan? If that happens, you know what I mean? They'll think they've got a little chance to maybe try and push a bit of a charge at the
You
end.
know what?
How you feel? Go on.
I think City play tonight, so it'll depend on what happens tonight. Obviously, if we lose to Southampton, to be honest, I'm not saying City are going to go and win both games because Southampton, in particular, give us a bit of a hard time. We have got quite a lot of late winners against them, so I'm not going to say that that's going to be, plain sailing. It's one of them things, and I didn't think City would win the 21 games. I was like, we'll definitely drop points. We've got Arsenal, we've got, all these teams. Man United were part of that, but obviously in the cup. And I thought there's no way we'll win all these games, and they did. The last time we got beat was, I think, before the other day, was 28 games before, and it was to Spurs 2-0. And after that, City didn't lose again. So it's one of them things. I don't know. I can't see Man City going 28 games, losing 3 games, and then losing another 5 in 10 games. I can't see it. So I don't know. And it's whether Man United are going to go unbeaten for the rest of the season, because the reality is we would have to lose 4 games, and they would have to win every single game from now to the end of the season. So that means they're going to beat Liverpool, which they probably will, based on the form. I think there's a few other teams in there that they would have to beat. So that would change the top 4 in general anyway. So I don't know. I can't see it. I think Man City tend to finish strong in the league. We always tend to do that. The last sort of 5-6 games, we tend to win. So, yeah, I don't know. I think City's fixtures, there are 6 games there where you would expect to win. And if you don't win them games, then there's questions about whether you deserve the league. Do you know what I mean? So it will depend. The other games are like Chelsea, Aston Villa, them sorts of games where you would see maybe dropping points. But that's the other 4, if you know what I mean. So I don't know. I think City, I don't think we struggle when the pressure's on us. I think, like Igal says, it's when we don't need to win that we kind of struggle a little bit more. So, yes, we could lose a game or 2 right now, but I think if we do that and Man United win, I think Man City then go back on another run. So, I don't know.
I hear that. Jan, for me, you've won the league. I just don't see how anyone's going to catch you guys, especially with what we've got about 10 games left now. I just don't see it happening. I think you guys have deserved it. I think you guys have been the best team by far this season, most consistent. I mean, you started off a bit dodgy, didn't you? Let's be serious. Everyone was questioning Man City and where the goal's going to come from. And then, as usual, Pep gets them ticking and, the beast wakes up and they're scoring from everywhere. Diaz was a revelation at the back for you guys as well since he's come in. So
it's when they get ruled out. The minute they got ruled out, they woke up.
It's true. Dan, how are you feeling about this game, bro?
About the conversation we just had, look, I can put my house on it that Man City won't lose this league. Like, that's not happening. They would have to
Don't
lose.
do that.
They'd have to lose weight.
Don't do that.
Shameful.
No. I'm putting my house on it now, and I'll do a Gary Lineker.
I want to see receipts.
This is the receipt. GNA Team live and direct. Daniel Banerjee talking. Man City.
No, I want to see the £250 receipt.
But nah, man. I just think in terms of the rest of the league, who's winning enough games to catch Man City in terms
Chelsea.
of going. Yeah, next year. But
Yeah.
look, in terms of this game, I personally won't be surprised if they drop points, and that's maybe the Josh Maja fans or Stan account in me talking. I think Fulham create chances, and that's the key thing against Man City. In this day and age, sitting back for 90 minutes and hoping you score one lucky break isn't enough now. You need to create chances, especially against a team like Man City. Man City are a team where if you can go out there and play confidently and make chances for yourself, look at what West Ham did. Like, West Ham definitely deserved the point that day, do you know what I'm saying? And Man City do have this inherent thing in them that when there is when you sense just a little bit less motivation than other games, that's when you have to pounce. Do you know what I'm saying? You have to kind of key into that. So if there's any sense, look, Fulham will go there. If Man City are on form, then you just hold your hands up and just say, yeah, look, better players, they beat us on the day. But if there's any like daisical play, if there's any sloppy passes, if there's any pointless passes as well, because Man City do that sometimes as well. If there's any pointless passes, Fulham need to take their chances. And definitely, because look, a better Liverpool side would have beaten them because they had chances in that game that they missed, and Liverpool just didn't create enough. So they need to make sure they take their chances against City. But I think City will win though. I'll go with City.
Yeah, I mean, I think Fulham are actually quite a good team. When I look at where they are in the position in the table, I feel like they should be a lot more higher up. Do you know what I mean? I don't really get why they are where they are. To be honest,
Fulham and Brighton are two teams that play. Like they say, I don't really tend to go down that route, but they play football the right way. But Fulham, as you can see, the problem was early season form. They were losing like recklessly in the beginning parts of the season, and then Scott Parker changes the system, three at the back, and puts a more possession style, more flair to it, and he's been getting results. I like him. I think he's going about it the right way in terms of the manager aspects of things, and
I just hope that I just hope that he stays there and doesn't take a big step like what Lampard did. He don't need to. He should just stay there, get his, build up his managerial experience. You look at the Pirlos, you look at the Lampards that just jumped straight into big jobs. And
what's Scott Parker's big step up though?
Huh?
Who realistically? Scott Parker.
He played for Chelsea, didn't he?
Yeah, but Chelsea aren't hiring Scott Parker. Like,
I'm saying no. If he's going to go anywhere, I'd say probably Spurs.
You think Spurs would go in for Scott Parker?
I think so.
No. You're completely missing it. The level up from where he is right now would be like the mid-table teams, like Crystal Palace.
You think
Spurs,
Scott Parker?
I reckon. I'm not even joking. I reckon Elena and Alex would actually want Scott Parker over Jose Mourinho because they can see that he's got a system in play that would work and get
anyone over Jose Mourinho because they don't. That's different.
They said they'll take Hoffenheim, so you just need to show that you have something about you.
Literally.
Jan, question for you: how much do you actually rate Rodri? Is what Slen says.
You know what? I like Rodri, to be honest. I think he came in. I think people kind of expected him to be like Fernandinho. He's quite different to Fernandinho. He's I always describe him as someone that just does what it says on the tin. Nothing special, nothing fancy. Statistically, he's number one for most things in the league, which is surprising. Yeah. When you watch him, you wouldn't necessarily think that. But he still is. So yeah, I don't know. He's I feel like he's a little bit underrated because he doesn't do anything fancy. I think if he did fantastic passes like De Bruyne, he would get rated a lot more, but he just kind of does what he needs to do. He's not as good as Fernandinho, at stopping like counter attacks, putting tackles in, stuff like that. But in terms of his passing, which is what he's in our team to do, he's successful at that. So I don't know, like I say, when Man City click, you can see why everyone is where they are. Do you know what I mean? When we have a poor team, people start saying, "Oh, he's not good enough. He's rubbish. This player's better than him," and vice versa. But 21 games in a row, no one's ever done it before in England. So I expected City for it to end at some point. Do you know what I mean? But it's just
I disagree with I disagree with this comment. Rodri is not a donkey. He's not as slow as it. He can pass. I don't know why you say he can't pass. He's not Fred or McTominay. They don't even touch him. That's it.
The Rodri hate is so ridiculous because if you rate Gundogan, you have to rate Rodri because Gundogan can't do what he's doing without Rodri doing what he's doing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Should I tell you who Rodri reminds me of, Jem?
Don't even say it. I don't even want to. No, he does not. He's got nothing like him. He's got nothing like him. He's nothing like him. Don't even say it.
Jem, this is hate. This is hate now.
This is hate. What you're telling me that Jorginho and Rodri have got the same ways in
they've
football.
got skill sets that are similar.
So you're
Rodri's
saying
quicker.
he's similar to Jorginho?
Rodri's quicker. Rodri is not quick. I hope you know this. He's
quicker than Jorginho. Jorginho's slow-mo.
What does quicker than Jorginho mean? Or Jorginho's pace is 40 and Rodri's is 60. Oh, what a difference.
What is it that they've got the same in, other than what you think
in
is
terms of their
passing
composure on the ball and their passing range? It's very, very similar.
I would have Rodri over Jorginho. He can actually defend.
You don't like Jorginho. That's the problem. And
Rodri can defend. Jorginho can't defend. Rodri is there to sit as a proper solid DM.
What I find so crazy is that Jorginho was Pep's first choice. And if Jorginho played under Pep, I can guarantee
he would get the best out of him.
Your tune will be so different.
No, he would get the best out of him. I ain't even getting into this Jorginho thing because this is not even the whole story.
Jim, the thing is, if you have possession of a game, that's when Jorginho is at his best. And what he's saying is Rodri and Jorginho are very similar because Man City have possession majority of the game, so you can see the best from that player.
Yeah, but Rodri's better than him. Yeah, I agree with that one as well.
Rodri's in a better team. It's the same thing as Lacazette. If Lacazette was in a better team, people would think
that is just not true at all.
Take any of our players, put them in City. We're going to be saying they're better players than the same player if they were in our team.
Nah, not Joe Willock, but I get your point though.
Joe Willock is in Newcastle, mate. Don't worry.
Why do people have this assumption that Foden is a United fan because his dad supports United? Like, he's had a season ticket to City since he was about 3 years old. No, his mum's a City fan, so his mum used to take him to football. His dad's a United fan, but his dad doesn't go to football. So he's always been a City fan. But people think because his dad supported United, he must be a United fan. My mum supports Liverpool. I'm not a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, I hear that. I'm going to say Man City will win. I think Man City will win 3-1 in this game. I don't see how Fulham beat them. I don't think they're going to do what Igal's saying, which is some absolute madness. But it's
you know what?
We'll have to see what happens.
Ask Yan. She's a Man City fan. She knows what happens. The Palace game, random games. This season, it even happened to them. Earlier, they drew against someone like that.
The start of the season, we were drawing. We were dropping a lot of points because we weren't clinical enough going forward. So what was happening is we were conceding, say, a chance, or we were attacking like we always do in big numbers. We were missing the target, and then the other team was running up the other end, getting a chance or two and putting one of them away. And then we were drawing like 1-1. That was what was happening. Since then, City have been a lot more clinical. I think Man United's the game where we didn't look like we were going to score. That's not happened in a while. But I don't know. Manchester derbies are a little bit different. Like, we've won the league of 100 points and still not beat Man United at the Etihad. It happens. It's a derby. It's different. So yeah, I don't know. I think in terms of this season, I don't know. We beat Fulham 2-0, I think, in the first leg.
Why not Toronto FC? I don't get it. I'm not from Dallas. If you said Toronto FC, it would make more sense.
I love it. I love it. That was funny though.
You
Sorry,
missed
Jan.
it.
Sorry,
You
yeah,
missed
go.
Sorry,
That was
Jan,
funny.
we
That
cut
was
you off.
funny. Yeah, Jan, did you want to finish off? Anything else? Anything else you wanted to finish
No,
off
I
saying?
was just going to say, like, I don't know, like, I don't think City, obviously that United game wasn't great, but I personally think we threw that game in the first 30 seconds. I think the minute that penalty, Man United came for a 0-0 draw.
Yeah.
We gave them a goal, so then they got a win. You know, I don't think they had any intention of winning
No,
that
I
game.
don't agree with you. Manchester United gave you guys opportunities. I don't know how on earth Gundogan came out of that game with no goal.
I know. No, this is what I'm saying. That game, nobody in that game from a City perspective looked like they were going to score. I think if we played an hour, no one scores. But
Yo,
what I
and
was
Jesus,
saying, I don't think Man United intended to win that game. They would have come into that game thinking, we'll take a draw. Like, that's what the
They
fans
would
were
have.
saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If we gave them a penalty, when you're on the front foot, it's always a lot easier than the team chasing. And we had to throw everything at Man United to try and win the game.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. So
I see what he's doing. As a Chelsea fan, he needs to big up Fulham, man. How dare you?
Just quickly,
Yeah.
please smash the like button, people. There's 35 of you here right now, pushing actually nearly 40. So yeah, we appreciate it as always. We do need to move though. We need to move on to Southampton and Brighton. Southampton, well, started off well at the beginning of the season, didn't they? And then slowly declined. Where are they? 14th. Wow, I didn't know that. 27 games, 14th, 33 points. They've lost 3, drawn 1. 1-1 in the last 5 games, and they're playing a Brighton team who a lot of people like, and I don't really understand it myself. They've lost 3 and drawn 2 in the last 5 games. Could go down as well. You know, they're closer to Fulham than what Newcastle are by a point. Igal, Southampton or Brighton?
I hope Brighton get relegated. So in that case, Southampton. And you know what? It's going to be Southampton 3-4. That's what I'm hoping for. But realistically, it's going to be more of a KG 2-1 victory for Southampton.
Fair enough. Yeah.
You know why I want Brighton to get relegated? The last day of the season, we play them. And I just want to see Ty's face and him go straight to the camera and be like, Brighton's getting relegated. I want to see that. I would love to see that.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Go on, Jan. What are you saying?
I think it depends on what happens tonight, because if they beat City, they'll be more up for it. But yeah, I don't know how this game's going to go, to be honest, because Southampton are a strange team because they go into games that you'd expect them to win, and then they don't win. And then there's other games where you think, yeah, they've got no chance, and then they go. I think they beat Liverpool. Was it Liverpool that they beat? So yeah, I think they're a bit of a strange team. So I can't really predict Southampton's results too much. But I think they will beat them. I think it'll be like a 2-1. I think it'll be a close game. Yeah, do you know what? It's because, you know what? Everybody went into that derby thinking City are on form. It's a Manchester derby. I have seen the shittest Man City team beat Man United. Treble winners. Like, I've seen it. It happens. It's derby day. You can't predict the derby.
Yeah.
You can try.
Yeah, I hear that. It doesn't work, does it? It's true though. Derbies are always up in the air. I agree with Jan on that one. Dan, what are you saying?
It's one of them games you could go either way, man. Southampton, I mean, I know they beat Sheffield United, but like the Liverpool game that you mentioned, after that Liverpool game, the run of form they went on was like horrendous, like highway to hell kind of form. So it was like Southampton they're a confusing team. I know they've had a lot of injuries as well, so they've got the injuries excuse too.
Yeah,
but yeah, who do I go for? I think I'll just give the edge to the home team, Southampton. Say 2-1.
Yeah.
I mean, I get what you're saying in terms of Brighton. You don't see why there's so much like hype around the football that they play, but they genuinely do play good football. Like their passing combinations, their attacking patterns of play, they play very, very good football. And if you actually watch 90 minutes, you'll see that they miss a lot of chances as well. So which is a big problem for them. So yeah, that's why they're where they are. And it's like when you look at these clubs, it's finding the balance between keeping Premier League stability and also trying to play good football, because they were fine under Chris Hughton. Let's not get twisted. Like they were okay. They were a good team, mid-table team, and they just wanted a new style of play. And obviously now that could come at a cost. So we'll see what happens with them.
Cool.
But they could go down.
I hear you. I need to. If there's anyone that backs their players more, let me just get this right. The Red and Blue podcast, it is me. I back every single blimmin' player. Yeah, I even backed Frank Lampard when a lot of these Chelsea fans didn't. Yeah, so I always put the club first. I don't have a player agenda. Yeah, I don't sit here and go, oh, I want this player to play because I think he's better. I just want the best players to play in our team and put in a performance. When you've got squad depth like Chelsea has, it's good that we can rotate and still get good performances out of certain individuals each game. So I am happy that they're all performing. But if someone doesn't play well, and it's not even just Jorginho, if it's Kante, if it's Kovacic, if it's Christensen, if it's Zuma, whoever, and they get put on the bench, I'm cool with that. I will not sulk it. So for me, I will always back my team, and I'll back the club, and I'll back every single player, and I will back Jorginho. I'll always back Jorginho. He's a Chelsea player. Do you know what I mean? Where people get mixed up with me is I just like seeing consistency in players' performances. That's all it is. You know what I mean? I don't not like him in the team. I like him in the team. He's playing well at the moment. He can't not be in the team at the moment. So I just want people to understand that, because I know people tag me in Twitter a lot about Jorginho.
James on the ropes, man.
Huh?
You're fighting them off.
No, but you know what it is though, right? There's so many player rating shows since Tuchel's been in, and I've sat here and I've bigged up Jorginho massively and actually said he's played really well. And people seem to think I just hate him, and I don't hate him. I might have a difference of opinion. I not think he's world class, but that's my opinion. Do you know what I mean? I have my opinion. So it is what it is. Oh, I just feel like he's painted that as if he is world class because of his 9 or 10 performances a lot of the times. But anyway, that's another story for another day. Southampton and Brighton, I think it's going to be a draw, to be honest. I don't think Southampton will beat Brighton. I think it'll be a boring 0-0 or a 1-1. Again, not much more to really talk about with that one. We move on to Leicester versus Sheffield United. Is Maddison back? I don't even know. I know he's been injured for a while. Obviously, they're at home.
They're saying 75% chance he plays.
Leicester are sitting on 53 points, 28 games. Chelsea are 3 points behind them. Obviously, a loss for them would be perfect for us, but they are playing a Sheffield United team who are just rock bottom, lost 4 of their last 5 games. 14 points, struggling to get wins here and there, or even get a points. I'm assuming it's only going one way, isn't it?
Show me again. Go on. I honestly think, it's no. When it comes to Sheffield United, like at this point, their position, the amount of goals they've scored. Look at that. They might finish on more points than they have goals at the end of the season.
Yeah.
That would be. That's how embarrassing it is. Like, I don't know what to say. Leicester have to win this. If Leicester lose this game, bottle job Brendan Rodgers' agenda lives on.
Yeah,
like I don't even want to give you a score. I'm thinking maybe Leicester 3-4, 3-4. That's what I'm thinking. But it could at the same time. You know what? I'm just gonna pick Brendan Rodgers, bottle job FC. It's gonna go agenda flows, and Sheffield United get the 1-0 victory somehow.
I hear you. Slens is dropping some bombs in the chat as always. Jan, what are you saying?
You know what? Sheffield are another weird team. Like, this season's been strange. Like, they're rubbish, and they'll just beat someone out of the blue that you just don't expect them to beat. Also, the other thing is Leicester, every time they sort of get a chance to maybe go second, they bottle it. So it's one of them things where, on paper, Leicester City all day, 3-0, 3-1, But knowing how this season's going, I don't know. But I'm going to stick with it. I think Leicester are the better team. Kelechi seems to score a lot at the moment. I think they will win. but it's one of them that could go either way. Like somebody mentioned in the comments about Southampton, and like they do give City a hard time. Like I'm not confident for tonight because they give City a hard time. But yeah, I think these teams, they just like pop up. But I can't see Sheffield United beating that Leicester team. I really can't.
Yeah.
Say maybe 2-0. Maybe 2-0 Leicester.
Slens is saying McSalstrick to get the winner against for Sheffield United. Dan, what are you saying?
That's the 3-1 win, man. The sooner Sheffield go down, the better.
Why?
I personally, I just do not like them. I just
It's
don't.
just because they beat you. They beat you guys last season.
Probably is. That's the same reason you want Brighton to go down, I guess.
No, the reason why we want Brighton to go down is because they literally injured our goalkeeper.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
So yeah, no, I hear that. Yeah, Leicester for me are gonna walk this one 2-0. I expect them to get a result against Sheffield United. They are pony. Let's be serious. They are pony. So we move on to we've still got a couple more games. Big
Game
games
of the
actually.
weekend.
Massive games. Arsenal.
Game of the weekend.
Arsenal versus Tottenham. What are you saying, Dan? Sorry, mate.
It's a game of the weekend.
Game of the weekend, yeah. Arsenal versus Tottenham. The battle of the mid-table London teams. North London teams, sorry. You've got Tottenham, who are sitting 7th, 27 points, 45 points in total, on a bit of form at the moment. They've got the best. Well, this seems like Mourinho's starting to get the best out of Gareth Bale. Harry Kane and Son and Gareth Bale all starting to play together. So that could be a deadly combo. And then you got Arsenal on 27 games, 38 points, trying to get... Well, if they win, they could be 9th figure. They could be 9th.
Yeah. You see how Yan turned off the camera? You seen how Yan turned off her camera? She didn't want to be associated with the Arsenal slander. I appreciate that, Yan. now when it comes and Dan, you see his camera hasn't been all day, so he doesn't want to be associated with that anyways. So let me keep it moving. This derby is literally bragging rights. It doesn't mean what it should mean. It should mean like our positions at the top of the table, and we're fighting to see who can get higher, what's going on. At this point, it's just bragging rights. We have a good record at home against Tottenham. We usually do well at home against Tottenham. And you know what? If we show up on our day, I could see us winning this quite easily. So I'm just gonna go for a win. I'm not gonna put a score line down. I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm gonna leave my powder dry for the rest of the week because I'm gonna be talking about this every single day. So I don't want to get all my eggs out now.
Yeah, that's fair enough, Gal. I hear that. Yan, what are you saying?
Do you know what? It's a derby. So I think Tottenham are flying at the moment. The past 2 games have been really, really good. Bale's back, like someone said. Kane is Kane. But with it being a derby, it's not all that relevant. Do you know what I mean? So I could actually see Arsenal winning this. They're at home. Arsenal, the last time everyone thought Arsenal would get battered was Man City. It was 1-0.
Chelsea.
Pretty equal game. Chelsea, they won. Man United, they drew. And, really probably could have won that. So, yeah, I don't expect Tottenham to go there and batter them. It could potentially be a draw if both teams kind of go for it. So it could be like a 2-2 draw. But I think a 3-2 win, I can see quite a lot of goals in it. Or maybe a 2-1. But yeah, I think I'm gonna say I don't know because Tottenham are on really good form at the moment. But it's a derby, so it's one of them.
I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
If there's goals,
2-1 either way. I don't know which way it's gonna go, to be honest.
It is a flip of a coin, 100%. Like it's a derby, like what Ben Russell said there. Form goes out the window when it comes to derbies. Obviously, she's just been through one, so it's a madness. Dan, what are you saying, bro? Who's winning this one?
I think it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what Mourinho does. If you remember at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, it was a counter-attacking masterclass. They gave Arsenal all the ball. and counter-attacked and scored 2 goals. I believe it was 2-0 anyway. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It was.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But now they're playing with the ball. They're playing their front three. Bale, Son, Kane. He's releasing the shackles a bit. And it's like, cool, this team is the team that we actually expected them to be. Attacking force in terms of the front three. I remember Tottenham fans telling me this front three competes with Liverpool's and some of the best in the world. So,
Yeah,
look,
I heard that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, we want to see some of that if they're going to go out there to attack. But you know, Mourinho is always the master of his own undoing sometimes, and he could go into that game saying, "I want to counter attack again." So,
what is their weakness? It's defending. What is our strength? It's defending. So at this, I feel like
Your strength ain't defending. What are
Our
you talking
strength-
about?
no. When you
What
guys
are you
actually
talking
look at it, don't just look at the results. Look at the actual league goals conceded to goals scored. This season, our strength has actually been defending. So I don't think you guys.
In my opinion, you can't get caught up in the logistics of it. Look, if you lose 1-0 every single game, like you're still losing.
Let's look at their goals conceded,
but
or goal difference.
conceded.
Let's have a look.
Like,
So
goals
they played
conceded
27. So what's this? Wait a sec. So what's I don't even know. Goals for are goals against, yeah. So we're going goals against, yeah. Goals
I know we're
against
the same.
would be
We're the same right now with Tottenham.
28.
And Tottenham
You
are
got
on 28.
goals against you is 28. Tottenham are on 28 as well. So you've conceded as many as them. So what makes you think your defense and their defense is not the same and yours is better?
It's because we've been relying on our defense because our attack has been so weak. Where their attack has literally been their focal point. So it's going to be two different teams from when we.
But their goals for is 46 ago, and their goals against is 28. Yours goals for is 35, which is less, but goals against is 28. So if you look at it overall, they're doing better on the attacking and empty side of things, and they're the same as you when it comes to defending at the moment in terms of goals against.
When it comes to, you can look at it from that point of view, but you also have to look at other competitions. When it comes to Europe, we've obviously conceded less goals in Europe. When it comes to League Cup, Europa, FA Cup competitions, they've had horrendous defensive performances. Are we going to just look past the Everton game? Are we going to look past some of these performances versus lesser competition in Europe? No. In the grand scheme of things, defensively, that's been their biggest weakness. Yes, they might be on the same amount of goals conceded as us, but that's also just I'm not exactly sure how that even is possible. But I honestly don't know how that's possible. When it seems like every single day they're conceding goals against silly teams.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's what I say. The eye test, as Terry likes to say, can be deceiving, isn't it? In many ways. To be honest, I think it's good. People always go to me, "How can you say this?" But I think it's going to be a draw. I know people say the Arsenal Tottenham derby is one way or the other. It's either like madness, where like Arsenal win 3-1, Tottenham win 3-1. I just think you're going to cancel each other out. I think there'll be goals. I think it might be like a 1-1. Maybe at a push of 2-2, but I think it's a draw. That's probably because I want that as well. I don't really want any of you to win. I'd rather you both draw, to be honest. Because if Tottenham win, they'll be on the same points as West Ham, and they've got a game in hand as well. So it will allow them to.
Igal,
go on.
Are you happy with your season? Have you I know you made that tweet, and obviously. People, I watched a bit of the Terrace where Terry and KJ were getting onto you a bit about the unfortunate circumstances of Arsenal that you called it. But I'm saying, are you happy with your season in general in terms of Arteta as manager, the football he's playing? Obviously, maybe not the results, but are you happy going into next year?
Listen, nobody's happy with being 10th in the league. No one's happy with the position that we find ourselves in. That I don't think the question is, are you happy? Is do you see this going anywhere that's positive in the coming times, right?
Mm.
With adequate recruitment, and getting in the level of players with the quality that can play the style of play that Arteta wants to play, yes, I could see that we could end up going somewhere with this manager, and I could see that the club could be in a higher and a better position next season. Now, have we been unlucky? That to me was a provocative point to show people what I meant, because people are not going to listen unless you're a little bit more provocative with your words and your choice of wordings. So being unlucky was not the choice of words that I should have probably used. To say there's been incidents that you could draw from and look at and say when you look at the bigger picture, there's been other things that have gone into the season, and completely take the refereeing decisions out of it. Just look at the individual errors that have led to conceding goals. Freak errors that have led to conceding goals that would never happen, right? That was what that was trying to explain. I was just trying to explain to people. If you look at it from one point of view, you can just be like, hey, Arsenal have been terrible defensively. But at the same time, Arsenal conceded how many penalties? How many times have we conceded goals from directly giving the ball from playing out the back? And if you want to make fun of the manager for playing out the back, our first goal from the same game that we conceded against Burnley was from playing out the back. So you can't have the positives without the negatives when it comes to playing out the back. So I'm happy with the manager. I'm disappointed in the players' performances. I'm disappointed in the league position. It's unacceptable. But you know what? If there's a greater good and next season we're higher up the table, I'm happy.
Egal, you're a marketing genius, says Lens Talks on this one. So yeah, I hear what Egal's saying. 100%. Like I said, I'm going to go for a draw in that game. So we will move on. We've only got 2 more games left and we're done. We've got Man United West Ham, which is on Sunday at 7:15. Man United, this is going to be a tough one, isn't it? Man United are on 54 points, 28 games. West Ham, game in hand, 48 points. Egal, can you see West Ham causing an upset against Man United? I know they played him in the cup game and they took him into extra time. Gave him a couple of problems at Old Trafford at the time as well. Do you think Man United might drop?
West Ham have to lose. It's simple reason why these guys have recently been talking to Arsenal fans like they're Real Madrid because they're above us in the league. West Ham have to lose. And also, Jesse Lingard is not playing. So because he's a Manchester United loanee, and also because he's become the most integral piece of their attack. If you see how he played against City, the whole time, everywhere on the pitch, he picked up the ball. He was the focal point. And when you have a focal point in your attack, like Jesse Lingard, who's been carrying the team for the past couple of weeks, and you only have one striker in Antonio, anyone else you put in that place, it will not have the same effect. And you'll see a level of drop in the performances from the team. So for this one game, the loanee agent, Jesse Lingard, will actually help Manchester United by dropping by taking their most on-form player out of their team because of the loan rule.
I think it's slightly harsh, Gal, because before Lingard came to West Ham were in good form. David Moyes had them here, there, or thereabouts where they are now anyway. Do you know what I mean? So I do get what you're saying. He is definitely their informed player at the moment, but there's also Souček, who's playing very well at the moment, Declan Rice, Antonio, Benrahma. Like, they've got Fornals who plays a lot as well. Like, there's a lot of players in there that can cause damage. Yeah, and what you saying?
We've seen this with Leicester. We've seen this with Mount. I mean, we've seen this with not Mount, Madison. When Madison was out, we've seen the drop off. So I'm just expecting the same thing. I'm saying Manchester United are going to win convincingly 3-0.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I agree. I think Leicester will win. And when Leicester win, Man United have to win. So, yeah, I think they will do that. I think it'll be 3. Yeah, maybe like 3-1. I think United will win it quite easily, to be honest. Are United at home?
United are at home, yes, correct, yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah, I still think they'll win.
What's funny is I'm quite tight with one of the guys who runs West Ham Fan TV, and when I tell you they are brimming with they are talking like they've been a heritage club. Like it's getting that serious.
Yo, one guy was talking to me like he was a Real Madrid fan. He was telling me, he's telling me, yo, what's Champions League like? I'm gonna be in there next season.
No, I think what was worse for me was the way they were looking at the fixture list, which they have one of the hardest fixture lists going into the end of the season, and he was like, "Yeah, 3 points here," and like they're just so confident. Look, if you're a West Ham fan, you have every right to be confident, and I'm someone who always says that when we do these podcasts and all of this kind of stuff, that sometimes we get so lost in trying to analyze games, you don't allow people to be fans and don't allow us to be eccentric with our ideas and stuff like that. But come on, there's being eccentric and enthusiastic about your club, and there's being deluded. And I think
Arsenal fans.
I think West Ham have had a great run of form, but I actually want United to win as well. The thing is, even though I'm saying we can chase United, like I'd rather West Ham not be in the top four, if that makes sense. I'd just rather they not be there, so that they're just not talking and stuff like that. So yeah,
I actually think though, if they want top four, this is a must-win game for them, because
facts,
I think
100%.
where it is in the season and how it kind of is at the moment, like if they get them 3 points against Man United, that's a big step into the top four. Do you know what I mean? And I think if they don't win it, I just can't see them. Don't get me wrong, they've still got other games that they can get into it. But I just think a lot of teams like Chelsea will probably go above them clearer. Do you know what I mean? Or go above them by like what? So if you win and they lose, you'd be on 53 and they'd be on what, 48 with a game in hand. So it just takes you that little bit more away from them. And I don't know whether they'll recover. So I think for them, if they do want top four, I think they have to win it. But I can't see United losing. I really can't. Especially as most likely United will be third when they go into that game.
Do you know what though, Jan? For me, I actually want to draw, because I don't want West Ham to win, but I don't want Man United to win. So it's one of them ones, you know, like you said, we're like being sandwiched at the moment. We've got to win, but I think a draw would be a better result for us going into that. That would only leave us 2 points behind Man United, wouldn't it? Really, if we win and they draw. So and West Ham
second, it makes sense for a draw. I actually predicted that Chelsea would finish second when you were like way further down the league. So it'll be interesting to see if it happens.
Did you put a bet on it?
Nah. I thought City would win the league, but I didn't put a bet on that. And that was a long time ago as well. But
I would go for. I think Man United will win. I think they'll win. Probably 1-0, 2-0. I want a draw. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a draw, if it was like a 0-0 or a 1-1, and West Ham get a late goal or something, and that could happen for me. But I do agree in terms of with Lingard. He has been their informed player at the moment, but I do think that they do have players that can hurt them, and they are playing very well at the moment. They're playing, they've got something to play for, West Ham, so they will go there and they'll have a go. They won't be scared of Man United. So it will be a good game to watch. I can't wait. I really, really can't. But I do expect Man United to just pip them slightly. But we move. Last game. Wolves beat Man United. Wolves beat Liverpool. Liverpool, unfortunately, are just, where are they? We have to keep scrolling down. Oh, there they are. Sorry. 8th. Sitting at 8th. 28 games, 43 games. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games. That is embarrassing. They've lost 6 at home. They're playing against a Wolves team that are very hard to break down. They've won 2, drawn 2, lost 1. So they're not a pushover. They're on 35 points as well. Igal, Wolves are at home. Are Wolves going to beat Liverpool? What do you think is going to be the Liverpool comeback?
Come on, Wolves. Let's get it. 3 points away from the champions. Would you believe it? If Wolves do a job, and we get the 3 points, that's 2 points off Liverpool. I reckon we could finish above Liverpool. That would be amazing. Anyways, at this point, I'm saying no game. I don't see Liverpool winning any games. I think they're going to lose again, just simply based on the fact that they're on such a bad run of form. They're lucky that the game is being played away from home. That might help them. But at this point, they can't even score goals. So I'm just going to give them a 2-1 victory to Wolves.
Oh, wow. So you're going for a Wolves win quite confidently as well. Okay. I hear that. That could happen if Wolves turn up and they've got some players that can damage them. Definitely, Jan.
I don't think so.
Jan, how do you feel about like Liverpool and their drop-offs massively? Because it's been Liverpool versus Man City for the last couple of seasons, you know what I mean? And now you're seeing them actually crumble. It must feel good, doesn't it? Just to see them drop.
Well, I've been arguing with Liverpool fans for like 3 years because they've been telling me Liverpool the best team in the league, and I'm like, they're not the best team in the league. But you know, fair play to them. They played well last season. They were the better team last season, and they got the title as a result. But I have always said, I think I went on Terry's show about 2 seasons ago, and I was saying on that I think if they get injuries, they'll struggle because they have a very good team. They don't have a very good squad. So that's what I was saying. And that's what's happened this season. So I don't think it's surprising. I'd expect Klopp and Liverpool to come back next season fighting. That's what I would expect from a top team. So, yeah, we'll have to see if that happens or not. I think next season will be more telling than this one just because of the injuries. And obviously, they've played at that high level for 2 seasons, pretty much every game. You know, so you're bound to have a little bit of drop-off. City had it last season. And, you know, you could tell we just didn't look like we were going to win certain games. So, yeah, I feel like that's happened. So I would expect them to fight back next season. So I don't think it's all over. I think the problem they're going to have is they need top 4 because they need to buy players. And players, there's a lot of teams at the moment. And if you think about it, if West Ham or Everton, if one of them 2 finish in the top 4, they're going to want to go and get players. And I think, say in Everton, under Carlo Ancelotti, I think he can attract players. So if it's between joining Everton, who are getting a new stadium, they're under Carlo Ancelotti, the owners have got money, they'll have a plan in place, and Liverpool, who historically have been very good, but right now it looks like they need to rebuild, I can see the player picking a Champions League Everton over Liverpool in the Europa League or whatever they're in. So
of course they
I think they've got to be a little bit careful. Yeah, I think they've got to be a little bit careful.
Are we seeing a power shift, as you guys always used to say with Tottenham?
Do you know what? I don't know. Like, I think they're on their way. I think Everton are quite a little bit off it yet because obviously I'd expect Chelsea to be, you know, at least sort of in a title race to the end next season if they don't win it. So I think I can't see Everton going and winning the league like next year. I think it'll take them a few years. But yeah, I can see with Ancelotti and with the owners that they have, the owners want to do well and they're willing to invest. So I think we'll see something from there.
I'm not saying title shift. I'm saying
in terms of
Merseyside, like shifting power.
Shift. Yeah, I have.
Like
I've said it.
Manchester United, Man City, you see a shift.
Yeah. I think. I spoke. Go on, yeah. Go on.
No, I was just going to say this is kind of like the stuff that Liverpool fans are saying is exactly what United fans were saying when we started getting. Oh well, you're never gonna win the league. Like now, they're saying you're never gonna win the Champions League. Like I hear it every week. They were saying that about the league in 2008, 2009, 2010. Exactly. If you change the word from league to Champions League, it's exactly the same phrases that are coming out. And I'm not saying that we're going to go and win the Champions League this year. I don't think we will. I think PSG are favourites. But it's one of them things where it's going to happen. It's just a case of when, not if.
Yeah.
And they know it. And that's why they're saying you're never going to win it. You're never going to win it. Because it's a defence in case we actually do win it. And then they can just say, oh, yeah, you proved us wrong. And then move on to you haven't got 3. And then it'll be you haven't got 6. And that's just how it's going to go. But yeah, I think in terms of this game, I think Liverpool are going to be through in the Champions League. And I think because of that, they'll come into this game on a high. And I think Liverpool will win 2-0. Just because Wolves have been a bit shocking in front of goal.
Do you not see maybe an upset from Leipzig? Like Liverpool in such a rot at the moment. Like Leipzig must be licking their lips going, all right, we are quite far behind it, but if we can get a goal within the first 15 minutes of the game, it might build up a bit of momentum and you just don't know, do you? This Champions. We saw the game yesterday with Porto and Juventus. It was mad, wasn't it? It was literally mad. So I'm looking forward to it. 100% looking forward to it. Dan, what are you saying, my man?
I think Liverpool win.
Okay.
Liverpool win. Wolves haven't been great this season. It's been disappointing. disappointed immensely. I mean, they bought the whole of Portugal, and we thought we would be seeing like some crazy team. Like the push for Wolves was to consistently finish in the Europa League places, and I don't know if you check. Can I see their points quickly, Jim? I think it's done in terms of the race
Yeah,
for.
Jimenez, that's why.
No, of course, and that's a big loss, a big loss. But they still had parts.
There you go.
Yeah, so they still had parts for me. Pedro Neto's kind of had a breakout season of some sorts. Like he's been very, very good and consistent in his performances. Look at guys like Ruben Neves, João Moutinho, the core that they've kind of relied upon. Everyone's kind of underperformed a bit. Do you know what I'm saying? Just a tad, and that's obviously affected their results. But yeah, in terms of this game, I just think Liverpool, sooner or later, they have to win a game and get. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think the pressure. Like there's something at Anfield pulling them down. The same atmosphere that apparently gives them magic to beat teams and make comebacks. I think right now is the same magic that's working in reverse. So being away from Anfield is good for them, and that's why I think they'll get the win.
I think it's going to be a draw. I've got a fit. I just think Wolves are so hard to break down. Yeah, I do. I think there's going to be a lot of draws. And I've got a question that I want to pose on you guys before we shut up as well. Liverpool, do we feel that they can? Do we feel that they can move forward in the Champions League? Do we feel like they can push for semi-finals and finals this season? Or do we think that they will pass Leipzig and just fall out again in the quarterfinals? Like, what are we feeling?
What I've said is,
let Daniel go.
Yeah, nah. Look, what I've said is, and obviously, we're gonna talk. I'm talking about it later on today. Is that let's look at the wider picture of it. Is Klopp, what Klopp has shown me is a bit of arrogance. I don't know whether it's ego. I don't know whether it's pride. Don't know whether it's ignorance. But it's definitely something to do with arrogance in terms of looking at the players that he has available right now in terms of the injuries that they have and not being able to adapt and create a new system, a new way of playing just for the meantime to get results. There is no reason why Liverpool should not be in the top four. Fair enough, title, injuries, that's understandable. But top four, I'm not hearing the excuses because they still have Trent, Robertson, who imagine Liverpool played a three at the back, for example, with maybe Fabinho, Kabak, and I don't know, whoever you want to play. Provides more security. It allows Robertson, Trent to get forward more. So for me, it's just the lack of understanding where we're saying Klopp is the second best manager in the world, but he's not able to adapt to the players that he currently has at his disposal, which is a negative in his corner.
Yeah,
no, I don't think so.
I spoke to a die-hard Liverpool fan the other day. He's actually one of my clients from what I do in my everyday life. But he said to me that obviously the drop-off, all right, they've had injuries, but he blames a lot. Obviously, Liverpool fans blame a lot on FSG. But he just basically said that Liverpool actually don't have money. This is what he said. And I said, well, what do you mean? I said, what? He goes, well, if you look at the top six, he went, Arsenal got money. Spurs have money. We're reluctant to spend it. Chelsea got money. Man City got money. And Man United have money as well. Yet again, they just don't spend. He went, we genuinely do not have money. We will not. If we get rid of Mane or Salah this summer, he goes, we are not bringing in an Mbappe. We can't afford him. He goes, we wouldn't be able to afford that quality of player. Do you know what I mean? So to excel and back up to the levels that they want to be or have been in the past couple of seasons. So he feels like they're going to just drop off now and be gone.
Look at what I was. Just look at the roots of what I was saying. The point behind that is, and I spoke to Steve, and I think it was Callum who was telling me this as well. And it just links into my point. Right now, what they're doing is playing something called off-the-cuff football. They are looking. These are players who have played in a system that we called one of the best systems that we've seen. That's been so great and it's worked to such an effect where we did not even believe that this drop-off was even possible, remotely possible. Let's not get it twisted. Just before their December running, they were top of the league. So were Liverpool top at Christmas, or I think they dropped off?
They were.
Yeah, they were top at Christmas, and then Man United went on top after that.
Exactly. So they were even top at Christmas, and you know what? You know the Premier League has the saying, "The top at Christmas, you're challenging for the league," kind of thing. So the reason why I bring the arrogance point in, or the ignorance, or whatever you want to call it, is failing to understand or realize that the players I have currently at my disposal, you cannot play or sustain the levels that I want to see from my team. What does it take for Klopp here to just go into training one day and say, do you know what? To his defensive coaches, let's just drop 10 yards because we clearly can't maintain this high line with the players that we've got. Why can't you drop 10 yards for Kabak, Nathaniel Phillips, and all these guys who are playing at the back? Why can't you just drop 10 yards for them? It doesn't change the way they play. It's just a tactical jigging and reshifting just so that you can get results in the meantime. I think, and that's why I don't believe I'm going too far. We have to be harsh because we praised them so highly last season. So that's why we've got to give him the same criticism.
Let Yan go, and then I'm going to go last. I think my take is so different.
I was just going to say, because like, I think that's the problem. Because everyone was saying they're one of the best teams ever, I think that's the problem. I think if people said like they've had a really good 2 years, they've won the title, they've not got a big squad, so we don't expect to see it next year, that's fine. But everyone was saying they're going to retain it. Pep's finished. You know, when the start of the season, like from a City perspective, at the start of the season where we weren't doing too well, it's Pep's finished. You know, Pep out, like he needs to go, Fraudiola, all of this crap. Klopp's better. You can see what Klopp's doing. Pep, it wasn't working at the start of the season. Pep changed things around, and City are now, you know, well, they have been flying in terms of results and stuff like that. And I think, like, that to me is what management is about. It's about seeing an issue and kind of changing it and correcting it and then going on and doing well. And I think I'm expecting a fight back from Klopp. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting next season him to come out, have a plan, get the players back that are out, and I expect to see him fight back. And if he doesn't do that, then questions do need to be asked about him, because this isn't the first time that he's had a team that haven't been at the top the whole time. You know what I mean? So, you know, people say Pep is better than Pep, but I haven't seen the evidence.
I don't think so.
I haven't seen it.
No,
otherwise, I'm going to believe that Pep is better than Klopp.
But the thing is, Jan, Pep gets a lot of hate because he's only ever managed big teams. He wouldn't be able to manage a Tottenham. He wouldn't be able to manage a lower league team.
He actually wouldn't be. He actually wouldn't be. You want to know why? Because he wouldn't get the level of investment needed to have the level of quality on the pitch to perform. With the quality, you can't do what Pep doing.
But you
can't win. You can't win with the system that Pep has unless you don't have the level of quality of players. He can't win games with Fabian Delph as his main midfielder every week.
I get that, but at the same time, I think managers work with what they have, and obviously at a bigger club, you have to have the best players to get. You know, you're fighting in 4 competitions. You can't go into the Champions League with a rubbish team and expect to win. You know, and I think that's sort of the thing. Like, we're never going to know if Pep can do it. I've seen at Barca B, you know, he went in there and they weren't great, and he turned them around and made them to a better team. So he has done before with lower players. In terms of the teams that he's gone to, when you join a Barcelona, you work with what you have and you get big names in. At Man City, same thing. But I've seen Pep develop people like Zinchenko, that was 1.7 million, midfielder, wasn't the best player. He's got one of the best win rates as a City player. He's won more games than any other City player on the pitch, which is crazy in terms of, not in terms of numbers, because obviously he's not been there as long, but in terms of percentages, he's actually won more. And, you know, like, I think Pep gets a lot of slating for how much he spends. But if you look at the top teams, like Man United, since Fergie left, have spent £1 billion. And they're not near Man City. And that's not all to do with money, because they haven't spent that much less than Man City. And I think he just doesn't get the credit. You know, it's his game management. It's his.
It's like,
tactics.
oh, he's been spoon-fed with the players.
Yeah.
Look at, he had Messi at Barcelona. He had
But
Lewandowski
Man
at Bayern
City,
Munich. He
Man
had
City,
Aguero at Man City.
Think
You know
about
what
it.
I mean?
guys. Can I
Man
stop
City
you right
are
there?
going
Can I
out
stop
buying
you right there, Jan?
Mbappe. They
Jan.
buy players that are not superstars. We don't buy world class players. We don't generally. We don't. We bought one or
They
two.
turn him into. Yeah.
Well,
Okay, I hear that.
not every
But
player.
I want to finish up my Klopp point, my Liverpool point. Liverpool. Do you know what the real down granular issue is? Is that once they won it all, they thought, you know what, they're going to be able to do it again. And this season, physically and mentally, they've been broken. Okay, physically, they have injuries throughout the whole squad. And now mentally, they've been broken based on the fact that, one, you have Klopp going through family troubles on his own, right? You have Alisson, the goalkeeper, going through family troubles. You have them injuries throughout the whole team, week in, week out. They're having performances which they've never had. And the mental fatigue that you can go through after having Anfield be a fortress for years and lose that many games on the bounce. You don't know what's next as a club. And then without supporters to push you through that, some of the players, their heads are gone. Now, Mo Salah recently came out with a statement saying he did at home at Liverpool. You have players saying statements like this when they're your go-to guys, the only guys scoring week in, week out, looking at his teammates like, what happened to you guys? I don't recognize any of these guys. Tell me you guys recognize Trent. Tell me you guys recognize Mo Salah. Tell me you guys recognize Mane. Tell me you guys recognize this guy, Roberto Firmino, that used to call World Cup.
Yeah,
You don't recognize them. And that's all because they're mental and physical fatigue from trying to do it for 2-3 years straight.
Yeah, do you know what? I get that. And this is the thing. I'm not bashing Klopp. Like, I'm literally not. What he's done is remarkable. Like, I always say this. I say it every time. But my issue is that if the thing is, we're never going to know because Pep doesn't need to take a lower job. You know what I mean? He doesn't need to. When you're at the top, it's like saying Cristiano Ronaldo needs to go to Burnley.
Yeah, you don't.
That he's the best. Or Messi needs to join Sheffield United to prove that he's better than Ronaldo. Like, come on now. You're not going to do that. Haaland is not going to go and join Burnley or Leeds just to prove to fans that he's good. You know, and
the best managers get hired by the best teams, don't they? That's normal.
Yeah, when you're the best at your job, you know, we're not going to see Bob Johnson go and work at McDonald's. We're not going to see it because he doesn't need to. And I think it's one of them things. Like, I believe from what I've seen of Pep, like I've seen people said he couldn't rebuild. He's rebuilt a team. That Man City team that played against Everton, every single player in that squad was bought by Pep, apart from Foden, who came through our youth. So it's one of them things where he has rebuilt Man City, and he's still doing that. He's in the process of doing that. And it's kind of like everything that's thrown at him.
Sterling was bought under Pep.
In terms of the Champions League now, a lot of people say, yeah, he's not won it. One, he won it in his first 2 seasons, I think, or his first 3 seasons twice. And then he's gone to a Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich won the league every single year. They didn't win the Champions League, but he was only there for 3 years. If Klopp goes to Liverpool for 3 years, he doesn't win the Champions League with Liverpool. That's the reality of it.
Yeah.
So
it's I hear that.
Where if Pep stays 5 years, I think he wins the Champions League with Bayern Munich. That's what I think. Man City is a whole different thing. With Man City, it's a mentality thing of not winning it before. I think if he joins the Chelsea, they win the Champions League because they've been there, done that before as a club. Man City is bigger than Pep. And I think this is why a lot of people are saying they don't think City will win it under Pep. They think it will be like a Chelsea where you get your manager who comes in, wins everything with you, can't win the Champions League, and then you get like a Roberto Di Matteo who comes in and wins it with Man City. I don't know. I'd like to think Pep can win it. But the thing is with Pep is he's a genius, so he overthinks everything. And I think because of that, he struggles. And I'm hoping this season, he did say, because I think De Bruyne was pissed at Pep last time. So I think De Bruyne and the others have probably spoken to him and said, look, you need to stop overthinking this. Like, we need to go out and play our best football. And apparently he has said he's not going to overthink it this season. So we will see. But I think it's one of them. It's a mentality thing with the players, and they need to get their head around winning it. And
it's the fans. It's the fans. the fans,
Go on.
the Man City fans that I've spoken to, like Movie, even what do you call it, Big Steve, they tell me that the league is all they care about. They don't care about the Champions League. So if you tell your players you don't care about the Champions League and you only care about the league, what are they going to think in their head? Sorry
I think
to cut you
just
off.
quickly,
I know. City fans have said that.
just to sum it up, I have got one more question. We're going to finish off because it's nearly been an hour and 35 minutes. Appreciate everyone still tuning in as well, massively. If you're new here, please subscribe and please smash the like button. I feel like Liverpool. I can understand why Liverpool fans are really angry at their board and FSG because they haven't strengthened. They went and bought Kabak, who is just not at the level. It's very clear. I agree with Daniel in terms of if you can clearly see that someone's not is not benefiting from a formation and you're leaking goals, you try and play to their strengths to a degree. You don't play such high up the pitch. When we played them recently, they were so high up the pitch, and we had Timo Werner. I mean, Timo Werner, like his strengths is getting in behind. Do you know what I mean? And his movement. You're allowing someone of Timo Werner's ability to get behind, and you're playing into our hands. And I feel like Klopp's been doing that. I think Klopp's very naive. I think he only wants to play one way. He don't think of trying to change it or adapt. And I feel like a Pep, even though he sticks to his systems, he rotates well. He would also still adapt if need be. If things weren't working, he would adapt. And I don't think Klopp likes to do that. But moving on to my last question, let's start with a gal. We'll go around very quickly. Where do we believe Liverpool will finish at the end of the season in the Premier League? Where are we going for?
10th.
Wow. Okay. Wow. That's Arsenal finishing above them, Miguel?
Yes.
Wow. You've heard it, people. You've heard it here,
No,
right?
no.
On GNA.
At this pace, yes. At the pace they're losing games at, yes. Why not? You're laughing. It's not ridiculous. It's 5-point gap.
Yeah. I hear
And
that.
we still
I hear
have to
that.
play them.
At Anfield,
Okay,
isn't it?
fair enough. Dan,
No, at the
what are you saying?
Emirates.
Oh, at the Emirates. Oh, yeah. I mean, Jan knows this. I'm gonna say reluctantly now they won't finish in the top 4 because I was of the mindset that they'd find a way to get there. Like I just thought it would be mad to go against Liverpool not finishing top 4. Now I think it is kind of done. Where do I think they'll finish? That's so hard.
Yeah.
I think maybe where they are right now, like 8th, 9th.
Okay. 8th, 9th.
Yeah, 8th,
Okay.
9th.
I hear that, bro. I hear that. Jan?
Do you know what? Like, yeah, I agree. I thought that they would find a way and finish in the top 4. That's what I thought was going to happen. I thought they'd finish 4th. But I think the way these last couple of games have gone, they just don't look like their form's kind of getting any better. I thought it was a blip at the time. I thought, they lost 2-3 games. They'll be fine. And they've just kind of continued with that. So, yeah, I think the best they can probably hope for would be like sort of 5th if everyone else drops off. But I think they're 10 points behind sort of 3rd place. So it's quite a way. And like, I suppose they've got to play people. So if they play Man United and win, they play, I can't remember who else they've got to play. But if they play all these sorts of teams, obviously Arsenal, if they win these games, then it might be a little bit different. But I don't know. I think, are they going to win them games the way they're playing right now? I don't know. I think they need to definitely win this weekend and kind of press on from there and push on from there, and get like, a good line of wins in a row. But I don't know if they're consistent this season because you think they're back. Like, I think that West Ham game, you thought, oh yeah, Liverpool, they're back. And then they lost the next game at home and it was like to Burnley, something like that. So yeah, I think they're struggling at the moment. And I don't really know what it is.
Well, Igal said that they're finishing 10th, which means they ain't going to get Europa League. Dan's saying roughly about 8th, which means they could get Europa League. 9th is a no. Jan's saying she just don't know whether they can bounce back. She hasn't really. You haven't told us where.
Okay,
Yeah, you think it could be?
I don't think they'll finish that low. I think they'll probably get like 6th or 5th.
Okay.
Let me ask you guys a question. When do you remember the last time Liverpool beat Arsenal at home?
At the Emirates,
Yeah.
it's probably been a while.
So why are Liverpool fans acting like, they slap us when they go to our house? You lost to us last year.
City as well, and they never beat us. They never beat us.
I'm sorry. Velvishwan, talk to your mate, bro. What's wrong with this guy?
I'm gonna say where they are now. Anything between 8th and 10th.
Yes.
Do I think they can get 7th or 6th? I think there's a possibility, but I just feel like they're so low in confidence at the moment. And one of the things I think I agree with Agalv as well. I think out of every club in the league, they are suffering without their fans the most. Like when you think of Liverpool and their fans, like they are really struggling without that. That 12th man in the fans to just get them through games. Do you think they would have lost 6 at home if they had the fans there in their ears? I don't think so. I don't think so. So
these games, like I said, like it's one of them things. If you're not doing certain things, the crowd are on your case. Like I've been at Man City before, where like Southampton a few years ago, where Sterling scored that last minute goal. And it was like we were on their case because it's like it's 1-1. We wanted to win the league that year, which we did end up winning it. But it's like we were on them. So that last minute there, where Sterling probably would have passed this season, he shoots and it goes in the top corner. But I think this season without fans, he doesn't shoot there. He passes it, someone misses, and then the game ends 1-1. So it does make a difference. It definitely does.
It's a bit like when I was saying to the guys on West Ham Fan TV that, and I kind of meant it as banter, and they took it personally. Like I was like, if your fans were in the stadium, you wouldn't be there because the negativity at the Olympic Stadium, like you lot get on your team and your team bottle it, and they're like, no, that's not true. This and that. So it's like, fans definitely have a huge impact, and I've been screaming players. Antonio even said it in a recent interview. He said having the fans either has a negative impact on some players and has a positive impact on some players. People forget that football is a stage. It's like performing at the National Theatre as an actor. There's pressure. So many people watching you. Like you don't want to make a mistake. The safer options are sometimes the better options for some players. So like we gotta factor that in as well when it comes to these things.
I hear that.
Let me tell you guys something. That. You guys have it good though.
Finish off.
Because Arsenal Football Club is a brand, and our clothing brand is more valuable than the actual club. So we've just released another fire piece of gear. This is now the 9th kit this season. Check it out, people.
We'll check it. I mean, Arsenal are doing well with their shirts. To be fair, I ain't gonna lie, their shirts are quite.
It makes no sense. Why do you need 3 kits, three training kits? And then 3 in-season kits. They do a tie-dye one. They did another one for like breast cancer awareness or something like that. And now they've done a 3rd one. This one is the weirdest one of all for no reason.
It's random.
And on that note, it is. You'd wait to the beginning of the season, like next season, wouldn't you? You wouldn't be doing it at the end of the season. It's very. But they do it on the last game. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they released a new kit, didn't they, on the last game, so everyone can see what it's like and that. But on that note, people, thank you to Igal, Dan, Jan. Igal, you can go and follow on EGTV. You know where to find him. Jan's obviously on Sarcasm City. He's also got Jan City there as well, which is massive. You've got Daniel at Eyes on the Ball TV, who is releasing a new Chelsea podcast show tomorrow, which I think me and him will both be doing together. So everyone make sure you smash the like button and get over there as well. Eyes on the Ball TV. Guys, thank you, man. Appreciate it as always. Thank you.
What do you have next here? Let people know what you got next here.
What have I got next year?
No, what's your next show you're doing?
What we got next year? Sorry, what we got on next year? Yeah, so for next year we've got the ladies show on Friday. Tomorrow we've got the European show actually, where we'll be just going through the Champions League games for next week. Next week's time, we'll also be reviewing the games that have just gone across we've been past with the Dortmund game, Seville game, the games tonight, Barcelona, PSG. We'll be reviewing all of that tomorrow as well. So make sure you all tune in for that. And then Saturday we've got that debate show, which is actually being hosted by Ads. They're doing a Man United debate show, and there's going to be some big guys coming on there, big United podcasters that we've managed to get to go on with Ads on that one. So make sure you tune in on that one as well, guys. But again, we appreciate the support as always. We'll see you all again very, very soon. Take care and have a good day. Bless.
It's like he's playtime when it's break time.